Before you ship the equipment to your next tournament location, ensure that you have all the necessary equipment and that everything is in working condition. Make sure that all the computers have the latest version of the software installed and that your power bank is fully charged. If you are not going to have internet access at the field, make sure you import the team lineup before leaving the office. When you arrive at the field, the first thing you want to do is determine the best location to place the radar. There are two mounting options: tripod or chain link fence. All tripod mounts have to be placed behind a non-metal fence in order to protect the radar from direct ball hits. Fence mounts allows you to attach a protective cover. When using the radar with a turtle, make sure to place the radar in such a position that the frame of the turtle does not interfere with the radar's field of view. When using the radar in the bullpen or batting cage, make sure that the radar is offset enough so that the catcher does not interfere with the radar's field of view. When using the radar at a baseball field or stadium, it is crucial to adhere to the following placement guidelines. The radar cannot be further back than 60 feet from home plate, nor can it be closer than 9 feet. The radar has to be placed following a 3-to-1 ratio, which means for every 3 feet back, you go 1 foot up. Ideally, the radar should be placed down the line behind the catcher. Whether used on a field or behind a turtle, or even inside a batting cage, ensure sufficient left to right offset to prevent anything, for example the umpire or catcher, from blocking the radar's field of view. Offset limits are given by the software during setup. All measurements are relative to the camera lens in front of the radar, taken from the tip of home plate. Now let's take a closer look at how to mount the radar. First, we will look at the tripod mount. Remove the quick release plate from the tripod. Attach this release plate to the radar by securing it with the screw to the bottom of the radar. Slide the release plate, which is now attached to the radar, into the head of the tripod. The second method is mounting the radar to a chain link fence pole. Thread the 2 metal clamps around the pole and through the slots in the bracket. Tighten these clamps until the bracket is 100% secured to the pole. Next, you attach the radar to the square plate of the bracket, using the 4 Allen key screws. To add more stability to the radar, attach the stabilizer rods to the radar. Tighten them just enough so that you can still adjust the roll and tilt during setup. Once setup is done, you should firmly tighten these, but make sure you do not affect the roll or tilt. Connect the power cable for the external battery and slip the battery in a battery bag and secure the bag to the tripod or fence. Make sure that the battery pack is turned on. If using an Ethernet cable to connect, then attach that cable now as well. Connect your strike to a PC using the PC software app. On your PC software, click Settings and then Find Sensors. Click on your FlightScope strike serial number and then click Select. If required, enter the password of this radar, which is the word strike with a capital S, followed by a dash, and the serial number of your strike unit. Select the environment mode, indoor or outdoor. Then select the appropriate mode, pitch or hit, or both. Select the game type, baseball or softball, as well as the ball type, normal or MLB. Select measurement units, scientific, metric, or imperial. You can also check this, which allows you to manually tag each pit or hit. The most important part of the setup is to get accurate measurements of the radar placement. Ensure your Leica is capturing the distance from the tip of home plate to the location of the radar, including the added length of the Leica itself. All your measurements are taken from the tip of home plate. Power on the Leica. Use the arrow buttons on the Leica to navigate to the Smart Horizontal mode. Press on again to enter Smart Horizontal mode. Place the rear of the Leica device on the tip of home plate and point the laser towards the FlightScope's internal camera. Press the camera button on the Leica for more precise aiming. Press on to take measurements. Click on the Start Setup to begin the calibration process. Select the applicable strike mounting location, post or tripod. The steps required to calibrate either of these positions are exactly the same. We will therefore show you only the tripod mount in this video. Use your Leica laser distance meter to obtain measurements that are accurate within an inch. Measure and enter the distance between home plate and the mount. Click on Next. Measure and enter the distance between home plate and the radar. Also measure and enter the height of the radar. Click Next. Select the tripod position relative to home plate, left or right. Measure and enter the offset distance. Click Next. Using the radar's built-in camera, aim the radar so that the yellow line goes through the center of the rubber, but make sure to keep the roll and tilt values within their limits. Drag the slider to zoom in if needed. Click on the left side of the rubber. Click on Next. Then click on the right side of the rubber. Click Finished. Click on Bore Sight to confirm the calibration is correct. Home plate should be within the blue highlighted area. The yellow line should split the mount. Click Close. You are now ready to play ball.